happens when a tarot geek starts working at a tarot shop? Hi guys, I thought I've been talking about tarot decks in a long while. So today it's finally the time and I wanted to show you guys my new decks. So what happens when a tarot geek starts working at a tarot shop? With like even a short math, you know, is not gonna be good. And on top of me being a bookaholic also, so yeah. But I've been actually kind of surprised how moderately I have been shopping decks and books. But I thought I'd show you my new ones. I'm gonna kickstart with a thing that's not usually my jam, with oracle decks, but I have gotten 2 oracle decks. The first one is Ciela Thompson's Hedge, Witch Botanical Oracle, and this was really interesting for me because I'm doing the herbal course now. So I'm studying herbs for 6 months, like really intensively, and this deck to me is more like study tool than just a basic oracle. And by the way, I'm sorry if you're hearing weird noises. Our crazy neighbor is blowing with a leaf blower, even though there's no leaves. I don't know what he's doing. He just likes to make noise noise in the morning, sometimes just by dragging the bin around the yard, so that's nice. But this is my first oracle that I've gotten, and the reason why I chose also that deck was that I got the Line Strider Tarot, and I liked this one so much that I bought the small one and then the big one. So the small one I will keep in my bag so that I'll have a tarot deck wherever I'm going. And this one is getting a really nice leather bag where I can carry it in my bag. So yes, the Line Strider Tarot. And I think even though the cards are very white and very airy, I still find that even though the smaller cards are this small, you still can see the images. And my absolute favorite image in this deck is the High Priestess with her ankh. Love her. But then the second oracle with the same theme as the first one is the Magical Botanical Oracle by Maxine Miller and Christopher Penczak. So whatever, you know, Christopher Penczak does, I just love it. I love the backs in these ones, and that's why I also bought this pouch with the same image and also the journal, because this deck, it inspired me to do a lot more planting in my witch's garden. So I acquired this deck already on winter time, and I started also to order seeds for many of these flowers in this deck, and I have planted them, and I'm excited to see, because they have started to grow already in my garden, and to get some real plant allies on top of just the oracle cards. But I absolutely adore this deck. It's been my absolute favorite oracle. And the deck that I have been pairing this with is kind of a mismatch. They kind of don't match, but I love how they work together. And that tarot deck is the Children of Letha. This is once again one of those tarot decks that you might not think that I'd enjoy, but actually, since my super active days on YouTube, I have changed so much. In these like past, I don't know, 8 months, my life has changed completely. And of course, I have changed in that turmoil. It's inevitable that you will change. And one thing that has changed, you can't see it now, but I'm actually wearing color nowadays. So that's kind of new. I haven't been like posting outfit pics or anything. Maybe I should sometime put it on my Instagram so you can see my girly outfits. But this Children of Letha. This is a girly deck. It's pretty. It's, you know, soft. It's kind of cartoonish. I'm excited to see, because if I've understood, she's gonna make one deck for each like of the quarter Sabbats. So that would be interesting. And I love the cardstock in this one. It's really amazing. But yeah, I've been pairing this with the Magical Botanical, and I've been loving it. This is one of those more comforting decks, and I think the texture has something to do with it also. I love textures. And oh, I have one texture thing that's not a tarot deck or book coming, but I'll save it till the end. I'm kind of inspired by the lovely James Feeney, how he used to do like tarot decks and books and other things. He used to show us every month what he's been working with and stuff. So I'm thinking about you, James. Then a few more decks to go before we move to books and other stuff. Next one is the Terra Volatile. I got it with the expansion pack, so I could pimp up my deck as I pleased. And I'm waiting for the big book to come for this deck, because the one thing that this deck has is a 5th suit. Of course you can take the suit out, but it has the suit of vessels. And it's like the 5th element, like having spirit on top of air, fire, earth and water. So that's kind of interesting to me, but I want to get the book. They have also awesome internet resources where you can read this stuff, but I'm such an old-fashioned person that I love to have a book where I can read from. These are mostly from the Vessel suit, but I'll jump a bit more so you can see if you're not familiar. I think this deck is more like one would imagine my style to be. Oh, this deacon just started today. Sun in Gemini, 10 of Swords. Next 10 days are all about 10 of Swords. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying this deck. But it's something that will take more of my time, needs more study. But I'm really happy to get some new challenges when it comes to tarot also. Then the last kind of deck that's been super interesting to me, deck that I fell in love with, deck that took a long time for me to decide if I should get it, and a deck where I blame Anna at Astro Lady Tarot. And it is, of course, if you have watched Anna's channel, you gotta know all about the Ritual Tarot by Tira May. It's mind-blowing. I don't do collage decks. Like, it's not my jam, but I fell in love with this one, and I think one of the main things is that it doesn't have the titles. I know she's creating a new one with the titles, but I'm super happy that I got this one that doesn't have the titles, because this sparks my intuition like no other deck. And I don't read with this at the shop for my customers, at least not yet. Maybe when I get, I'm definitely gonna get the titled one. So I think that could be something that I could use with customers who might resonate with this very special deck. But I don't think that this deck is for everyone in a tarot reading at a tarot shop. But I'm loving it. I'm crazy about it. It's just... Then a quick bonus deck. I decided that I'm gonna always have a tin version of the Centennial with me. Why? Because this is a perfect deck that you can gift onwards to somebody. Like, I was reading to an 18-year-old girl, and I had my vintage Aquarian with me, and I wanted to give her a deck, but I just couldn't give that. It's a special deck, and it's a deck that I link with my mother, who you know, passed away 2 weeks ago, and so I couldn't give that deck. So then and there I decided, because I had this deck once, but I already passed it onwards to a young girl. And now I decided that I'm always going to have this. So whenever the situation comes that I need to give a gift, it's there to be passed on in my purse. So then quickly through some books that are witchcraft books, but tend to go a lot more to the traditional Wiccan side of the books. First of all, Gimal Di Fiosa. He's written several books that are mainly like Alexandrian Wicca, and the most famous of those being A Coin to the Ferryman. And this I've had already, I don't know, a longer time. But now I got the book that actually has two parts. All the King's Children, and then A Place at the Table. And these books go through different people's experiences and paths on their, you know, on the Wiccan path and on their Alexandrian witchcraft path. And it's really, really interesting. And I'm getting, so of course it's always interesting to hear other people's story, how they've gone when people reminisce. But there are some nuggets of really awesome experiences and information that now, as an initiated Alexandrian myself, of course I know, but I haven't, you know, thought about. Like, yes, of course, like things where they talk about when you're casting a circle as an initiated witch, how like you don't do it by yourself, how there's like thousands and thousands of circles that have been done exactly the same way as you're doing it now, and like this inheritance, and you know, little tidbits like that. So I'm really enjoying these now, and my brain isn't in a situation now where I can handle like a long book from start to finish. I'm just not there emotionally. So these are good. I can read like one chapter, one person's thingy, and be done with it for a moment. And so that's why in the same category is also this book, Dreams of Witches by Christina Oakley Harrington. And again, a book that I like so much that I have two versions of it. I first bought the cheaper version, the orange version, but then I needed to get this limited edition also. I really love this small occult publishing houses. Black Leather Press is behind this book, and these are just beautiful, beautiful books. So this is kind of more like a keepsake. Of course I'm gonna read it, but this is the one that I carry in the train with me. And this is an interesting book about small chapters from other books from that era when Gerald Garner was, you know, alive and doing his thing and starting up what we know nowadays as Wicca, which was just witchcraft back then. There was no word for Wicca in that sense. But what written material they had, the early witches, available for them about these subjects, and small chapters, and you always have like on what book, where it's from, these citations, and then you can just look the book up if you want to. But this is my train copy that I put in my handbag and just roll with it. But those were the decks and the books that I've acquired now, pretty much. Some herbal books, of course, but those are more related to my herbal course that I'm going through. But the last thing that I wanted to show you is a wee bit challenging to show on the camera, but it is a huge blanket made by the Incas in Southern America from alpaca wool, from this company called Indian Creations, and it's handmade by Incas, and I'm loving it. It's thin but warm and soft, and it fits perfectly to Finnish summer, because our summer ain't always that warm. And one thing that makes it so special that when I was at the hospice, when my mom died, I spent 4 nights there. I was sleeping on the floor on a mattress, and one of those nights I was on my phone and I ordered this blanket. And now when it's here and I get to crawl underneath it and read my books, it kind of feels like having mom near me. So that's why this blanket is special, and I've warned my family that no one can touch it. It's mine. But hey, this was the new things that I've bought lately, and something more positive, I think, on my channel for a while. But until next time, bye guys.